Firstly, we will reverse almost all the tax measures announced in the growth plan 3 weeks ago that have not started parliamentary legislation.
Jeremy Hunt is the UK's fourth Chancellor of the Exchequer in a little over 3 months.
Is the Prime Minister next, Mr Kwarteng? Why did she sack you?
Kwasi Kwarteng only lasted 38 days in the role and will probably be best remembered for delivering the mini-budget that could have returned the Conservative Party to conservatism.
If we really want to level up, Mr Speaker, we have to unleash the power of the private sector.
New UK Prime Minister Liz Truss campaigned on pro-growth economic policies, but her Conservative Party has refused to follow. Now, Mr Hunt has unveiled the party's alternative to Trussonomics, and the crowd who demanded this may be sorry they asked.
I think that the bigger story here is that the British economy, and especially the financial system, was already very vulnerable after 15 years of ultra-low interest rates and very slow economic growth and low productivity growth. And that's creating the situation where it's really very difficult for a government to do anything that's at all out of the ordinary without spooking the horses, as it were.
It is a deeply held Conservative value, a value that I share, that people should keep more of the money they earn.
They do need to shake up the tax and regulatory policy if they're ever going to have any hope of stimulating sustained economic growth in the United Kingdom, and yet it's turning out to be very difficult to do that without somehow triggering fears of financial instability.
But at a time when markets are rightly demanding commitment to sustainable public finances, it is not right to borrow to fund this tax cut.
Today, the main opposition Labour Party is pushing for an early general election that isn't due to take place until 2024, while some in the Conservative Party are back to bickering over the leadership.
There is still a lot of division within the Conservative Party about what kind of a party it wants to be. I think that for 12 years they've been pursuing various forms of big government conservatism, and there is still a big constituency for that within the party, and especially among the members of the Conservative Party in Parliament, the lawmakers that Liz Truss was hoping would support her to pass this more Thatcherite supply-side package.
The way that we will get our country growing is through more jobs, more growth, more opportunities, not through higher taxes, higher spending, and his friends in the union stopping hard-working people get to work.
Do you think the Conservative Party can fix itself? I mean, obviously people are going to be losing faith in the Conservative Party, which is obviously supposed to be the party of fiscal responsibility, and it seems to be umming and ahhing about what it wants to do. What do you think needs to happen that will stabilise things ahead of 2024?
Well, I think that it is crucially important that the Conservative Party just decide what kind of party it wants to be. Now, I mean, you talked about in the question sort of this sense of the Conservatives as a party of fiscal responsibility. I actually think that that's a trap. They are having the conflict that they're having right now because they are prioritizing short-term fiscal responsibility, or the appearance of it. They are preferring that over policies that would genuinely stimulate investment, productivity growth, economic growth, rising prosperity.
Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor is somebody who shares my desire for a high-growth, low-tax economy. But we recognise, because of current market issues, we have to deliver the mission in a different way.
Unfortunately, they have missed a big opportunity with Truss to do a series of tax cuts that were very targeted at things that we know improve the incentives to work and invest. The kind of tax cut that actually would encourage more investment, more work, more economic growth and prosperity. They've given up on the opportunity to do that. And I think that they're going to have to come up with some way of talking about prosperity that is believable and that gets people away from this fiscal scold mindset if they really want to turn around their electoral prospects.